everybody, what is up? OCD Mikey, another edition of the Mikey Show here in Kragujevac, Serbia with Dejan Nikic at NAT Audio, which you guys know about because you've seen it a million times. And what I have become very aware of as I'm walking around the factory here and looking at the different parts and talking with Dejan, I am really realizing that this is a custom shop. This is not typical mass production type product. These are handcrafted. It would be like a car builder or a motorcycle builder or something like that. It's very evident that the parts that are in here are very unique and not everywhere. They're unique and low availability type parts. And Dejan has collected them over the years. And I'm looking at parts that I don't see. Like, I go to factories, I owned one, as you know, and I know what the parts look like. Now, the parts here are very unique, I've got to say. Very, very unique. I will show you to start. Here's, for instance, here is one of the tubes. This is made in the Netherlands. This is a QB5-/1750. Anyways, I'm looking at this thing, and as you can see, these are silver on the bottom. You can tell because of, first of all, the color that they are, and second of all, that they have some sulfide on there. But this is a real beautiful, amazing tube. Look at the copper rod down the middle here, and man, this is a very robust transmitter tube used for radio communications.
570 watts.
570 watts
of dissipation.
Of dissipation. Okay,
but
that's
pretty strong. We use some 40% only.
40%. Okay, so it has high dissipation, and it's only used at 40% of its output. You guys have heard me say that before with amplifiers. You don't want to crank them to 10. You want to use them in their linear area, where there's no distortion, or the best distortion, what have you. So this is one of the parts that I thought is amazing. He's got a whole bunch of these things in storage to build amplifiers. Another example here is this right here, which is part of the new. This is a ceramic tube. Okay, so as you can see, this is also silver. You see the color? This is Soviet era military grade, so military spec. This thing can transmit radio from a tank. Okay, so it just means it's very robust. Why do we care? Obviously, we're not going to use it in a tank. We're not going to be in a high vibration, high heat environment, although this is going to last forever. That's why these are used, because it's just robust. It will last forever. And you can see, here's the heat sink that came with the piece, right? This is what's meant to cool this, and maybe there's a fan or something they use. But instead of this little heat sink, this is the one that NAT makes for it. Now, this is in raw form. Okay, this has not been powder coated or drilled, but this will go in the center of this, and this whole heat sink will be a passive heat sink to heat sink this single output device. Now, what do we get from this? We get an amplifier that is a ceramic tube that has 100 watts of output, pure Class A, zero negative feedback, right? Transformer coupled output?
Yes,
transformer coupled output, and you should see the transformer over there. Beautiful transformers. There are parts here, I'm telling you, that I can't show you because they're so unique and special, and they are part of Dejan's arsenal, if you will, and so we don't wish to show the competition what we're doing here. Here's another piece. This is part of the power supply that goes along with this amplifier, and as you can see here, it is a hybrid part. We've got a switching mode module here, and then this is extremely special, what you see here, which is 200 UF. This is not an electrolytic cap. This is actually a film capacitor. I've never seen a film capacitor like this with this case. Up to 1500 volts. This is extremely heavy duty.
Energy.
Huge energy, right? What did you say? 2.2 joules?
Yes. 220 joules of energy.
220 joules of energy and zero resistance, right?
Resistance is almost the piece of wire. I think 3 milliohms.
3 milliohms.
3,000
Okay.
of 1 ohms.
Okay, and then we've got, these are filter caps on top?
Yes,
Is that what they are?
yes,
Yeah, okay.
additional cap.
Okay. So, and so these are some of the parts that you'll see in NAT audio equipment that you just don't see anywhere else. And it's becoming clearly evident as I look through the parts bins. Remember, I know how to see these parts. I've owned an amp company. You don't see parts like this in normal parts bins. Okay, these are custom pieces. This is a custom case, copper. Obviously, it was a tube that was cut. The transformer was put inside. This is a silver input transformer for the magneto, and it's a 2-to-1 or a 1-to-2. As you can see, it's a step-up transformer, and you can see it's potted. This is handmade. This is a complete handmade custom piece. You just don't find pieces like this with a normal production type facility. Okay, here is another example. This is a silver wound output transformer. Beautiful piece. You can see it's potted. It has its mount right there. And these are the kind of parts that are used in the NAT audio manufacturer. Over here, I can show you. Here is the tube. This is for the new Evo, the Magnetostat Evo. I'm sorry, the Magma Evo. Is it Magma New Evo or Magma Evo?
Magma Evo only.
Okay,
yes.
okay. And this is several things. This helps to dissipate heat from the tube. It and it also acts as a shield. It comes in contact with the chassis on the bottom, and any RF that hits this, it directs it away from the tube and into the chassis and out the ground, because we have the ground on back. So, and then let me show. I want to show you a PCB. Hold on one second. Let me show you something. Something else we're seeing plenty of. WEMA capacitors from Germany. Very good parts, as you guys know. These are the real German ones, not the Chinese copies. Okay, and then what we have here, and this is something I used to have boards made. And when I see something like this, okay, it stands out like a sore thumb. Like this stands out to me. Just so that for you folks that haven't made PC boards, if you look at a PC board, you're going to see hard angles, sharp lines, okay, on a normal PC board. This is someone that is just, they have the computer make it. It makes quick lines like this, but it has sharp corners. Okay, if you are really going to the nth degree OCD PC board building, you round all the edges so it's smooth flow. So there's no eddy currents at the sharp corners. You can get an eddy current of current, not with smooth flow like this. So you can see these beautiful arches, nice beautiful arches for the flow of the signal, for the flow of the energy. It's beautiful. This board, which you rarely see, very expensive. This is PTFE. Look close. Can you see the little grid? Can you see the little? You can tell it's PTFE because it looks like fabric, right? That's doped fabric or what have you. However they make PTFE. And then these are gold-plated traces, very thick traces. If you can see through hole, they're plated through the holes, so it's not just a pad on top, a pad on bottom. There's actually plating inside the hole on the inner edge, which just makes a better solder joint than only a pad on the top and the bottom. This is all extra expense when you're making a PC board. So this is the highest level, beautiful. Maybe ceramic is a little bit higher, but that's for high frequency. But this is an amazing, beautiful PC board. This you can't see from the outside of the NAT products, right? When we look at them, you don't know what's inside. So I thought, man, I got to show you guys what the PC boards look like, how they're built, because this is built to an OCD level. Deon, you are OCD amplifier builder guy, yes.
Maybe it is.
And here's a custom PTFE mount, okay? As you can see, this goes to mount this heatsink, and then there will be a rubber mount, or however it's mounted to the chassis. I see a lot of rubber mounting. It seems like you like to rubber mount the PC boards. And
one of the best isolated the vibration.
Yes, yeah. Okay, as you know, vibration degrades signal. So we want to limit the vibration on the PC boards, limit vibration to the tubes. And so as I look at these designs from Deon, I see rubber isolation mount on top of, can we show?
Yes.
Hang on. Yeah, this is a new for the Transmitter Evo. Okay, a couple of my customers, I've told you about these amps, and I've got a couple guys waiting for these things. They're the new version of the Transmitter. But just so you can see, okay, this board mounts with rubber isolation, okay, and then the tube mounts. We've got double rubber isolation. So that's three levels of isolation from the chassis.
For the output tubes.
For the tubes, and this is what holds the tube. And as you can see, this tube here is what goes in here.
From other side.
From the other side. Okay. Yeah, okay, so there we go. Okay, so that goes in. I was going to do it backwards. But anyways, I don't have to do it. But this thing goes in there. Oh, okay.
If you want.
Sure. You can do it much faster than I can. Look at that. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Now that's a MFer, like serious. How about that for a single-ended triode? What is the output on this? In watts for the amps?
80 watts.
80 watts.
80
Class A.
Class A, yes.
Yep. Single-ended triode.
Direct heated.
Direct heated
triode, yes.
Triode. Unbelievable stuff. This is custom work, custom job shop stuff, and it's beautiful. So when you buy NAT, you should understand what you're buying is a custom piece.
It's a very unique resistor. It's graphite. Yes, graphite. High power, high frequency.
Okay, so he's showing us this resistor here, high frequency, high power graphite resistor.
Military grade as well.
Military grade, again.
That's the color.
Yes, you can tell, right? Can't see that hiding in the grass. But, anyways, so these are very robust builds using very robust components and just amazing designs. So, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't ask you much. Do you want to add anything? Would you like to say anything?
Well, I think that it's that's okay.
Yeah?
Okay, yes.
I covered it. Okay, good. Okay, so to wrap up the NAT audio trip, I have to tell you that after going to Dayon's factory and looking through the parts bin, really that's what I did. I started looking at the parts around. Again, these are parts you can't buy anywhere. You can't go and get these caps. You can't go and get these transformers because, well, in the case of the transformers, they make their own transformers, as you saw that I showed you. Some of these caps and things that he gets are very, very unique. So you can't compare NAT Audio to any other brand. I think people consistently want to try and compare things. They want to try and say, well, NAT is like, this, or I like my audio research, or I like my some other thing, or whatever. Nothing is like NAT. Nothing is even close to NAT. NAT is very much on their own track, if you will. They are obsessed with having unique designs. They are OCD about having special parts and special, unique, scarce in many times circuits and so forth. So there's nothing that compares to a NAT. A NAT is for a certain buyer. It is for somebody that wants a unique one-off piece that is going to outperform and do a magnificent job at the audio arts. Okay, so you can't compare it to any production pieces. Okay, and that is what became so clear after my trip there, was how it might as well be called NAT Audio Special Projects or NAT Audio Custom Builders, because that's how these products are. They're done in smaller runs where sometimes there may be only 10 of something, and that's all that's ever made of that, and then something else is made. Now the designs are robust. It's something that they're as you saw in the boards, they're through-hole designs. So if something happens to them, they can be repaired. The part comes out, another part goes in, some of these things will last forever, like some of the graphite resistors or something like that. that's never going to go. That's a power resistor, military grade. That thing is going to be good for 50 years, no problem. Tubes, he's got storage units full of tubes. So really, more than anything, I think this video was to show you guys how unique NAT audio products are, how unlike they are anything else, and how custom how custom builds they are. So I just thought I'd bring that to you guys and tell you a little bit more about NAT. The new transmitters will be out soon. You saw the tube that went into the socket. Those will be out soon. Unlike the other distributors, I am the U.S. importer and the sole USA seller for these products. Unlike in the past, I don't gouge. I do a fair markup. So a lot of times you'll actually see my prices being less than the prices from the distributor 8 years ago for newer, better designs. So anyways, keep your eyes on 11 Stereo. You'll see more of the NAT audio products that I bring, and I'll go over them as I get them in and we start to compare. So anyways, thanks for joining. See you.